Hey y'all.
Hey
So
y'all.
tonight we're gonna talk about what would 40 something you tell 20 something you.
We're
But
time
before
machine.
we exactly, but before we get started, I'm gonna need y'all to hit that subscribe button down there and the like. And then leave a little comment or two. Don't be rude,
Mm,
but leave a comment or two
You know how you
and
like
tell
to
us what you
tussle.
think.
We like to tussle too.
Mhm. So I guess I can start off with this. I'm now 40. In my 20s, I was in college. I would I learned a lot of lessons. Now that I look back, I was like, you did some dumb shit.
Mm.
A lot, a lot. Um,
I'm really thinking about so you was 20 years ago. I was 21 then.
mhm. I really can't say think for myself because I did think for myself. I was the type of person, even if it was wrong, all I needed was for one person to say, go do it, girl. And I'd be like, yeah, the ringleader right there. So I ain't lying. So like I need to think twice about a lot of the things that I would do. Now before I do things, I try not to make emotional decisions. I sit down and I try to think about, okay, well, if I do this, how's it gonna affect
Right.
this, and this? You know what I'm saying?
Back then
Instead of just
you had
react.
nothing was, you're a kid, so you still were living the life of no responsibilities then.
We had nothing to lose versus now we work so hard
Mhm.
to get so much, So I think that's another difference too.
Adulting
We had nothing to
sucks.
lose.
Adulting sucks. I think I
It
would tell
does.
myself, my 21 old self. I left school at 20. I would definitely tell my ass go back to school, finish at Southern
Mhm.
University. The network of people that came out of that class are great. Like, just seeing them, they're great. Not to say that I'm not great either, but I'm just saying like it would have been good just to have a greater bond with those people that came out of that and have that under my belt and
Mhm.
finished. I would probably take a moment to slow down because I was running, going, and
It's
gone.
never a dull moment.
I never sat down. I never, not now. Like now I can really sip my coffee and enjoy the smell and taste the food. And I would really just slow down, think about it, and see how you can do what you did better. How can you go
Mhm.
about it a different way? I always love my body just. Oh, that's my TikTok. I was like, what? Who was speaking to me? I thought somebody was speaking to me from the future. Girl, I almost had a heart attack. I got scared. But I would definitely, I think I probably wouldn't make the same kind of choices in men. If I can go back and look at it now, like, no.
Mhm.
No. But I will say that all them dudes from 20 years ago are coming back into my life like now because they went to go find that perfect picture.
Susie Homemaker.
Yeah, and it wasn't them, and they always wanted, me being the free thinker that I am, that I was and still am, or like, what, you whatever, but you didn't want to give me a chance because I wasn't Susie Homemaker that wore the white cardigan.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I'll probably make better choices than dudes. That's
You're
for
so
sure.
shady.
Um I my 20-year-old self. I I want to say that I would. I don't want to say it because then my son wouldn't be here, right? And I wouldn't be where I am. But I didn't only. I had him at 24, so I wasn't really 21. 21, I didn't get drunk. You know what I was doing at 21 for my 21st birthday? Working 2 jobs, trying to pay my apartment rent. I had to pay my car note. I went home and went to bed on my
Poor
21st
thing.
birthday.
Poor thing.
I was a workaholic, like 2 jobs. It was nothing. I think I was working at the post office then. So everybody, what are you doing for your 21st birthday? But it wasn't nothing new because I had older siblings. So drinking wasn't a big deal. Like, and plus I got drunk one time before when I was 16. That scared me for the rest of my life. I would never want to get that drunk again.
Well, baby, I was drunk. I was summer school. I flunked out of summer school, y'all, that year. I was trying to hurry to get out of school, but I didn't go to class. Like, how much sense did that make? Because I was off campus. I know, like, I would be more sociable. I'm still working on it, but for some reason, people think that I'm really nice and friendly now. I ain't nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like when they left me, because we came down there.
Who left you, girl? Ooh, not that face. That was a serious.
We came in a group, okay, and I was like the last man standing, and then like she left me. So then I had to figure it all out.
We all just kind of like
I no longer had my safety net. But I still didn't become like really sociable like I feel like I should have, as far as networking and getting to know people and learning things.
Yeah.
So I would get on myself about that, get out, go mingle, go meet people, meet different people, stay in touch with people. I have that bad. I have that really bad. I don't stay in touch with
Facebook though, because I wouldn't have saw none of the people. You
wouldn't have found me.
We didn't have no cell phones. We didn't have none of that. Like, I didn't get a cell phone until 23, maybe. You were out of college by then, and I was in Hawaii by then. I was way on the other side of. I was gone.
Yeah.
I don't as a 20-year-old, as a 21-year-old. That's when 9/11 happened. I was in Virginia when that happened. I do remember that. I think that's the only time I really was like, oh, America. Now knowing the truth behind it was crazy. Aaliyah died that year. It's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. Here go my dog.
I know what's so sad. When all that happened, I was in my dorm room. I woke up on the floor, fully clothed. I had been at a Q party. Yeah. And I don't remember nothing else.
Well, them Q party, girl.
Girl. Fully clothed. Tennis shoes and everything still out.
Parties?
We sure did.
I remember going to the Kappa parties. For sure.
Yeah, we know. That was that day you did my makeup. We'll never forget that tragedy. But that's another story. But
excuse me, what you mean?
Yeah, she used to experiment on me.
I didn't have no license, nigga.
No.
Can you say nigga?
She could do my hair, but she couldn't do my makeup.
Well, I could do it now.
But I don't know. It's like you say, you don't want to change too much. Because I used to think about it all the time. Like, man, what could I have done different? But I keep saying, if I do something different, then I wouldn't end up with my son.
Yeah.
And my son made me do a lot of changes, a lot of things different. So it's kind of hard to say, what you would like to change or what you would have done. But I will, be more responsible.
I cannot imagine going through my 20s without being a mom. I don't know how that. I was
26.
I don't understand. I was 24 when I had Ty. So I couldn't imagine. Well, 24, 25. I couldn't imagine being a 20-year-old without a kid. Like that grounded me so much that it made me grow up super duper fast. Like, I just had to make moves. I had to think different. I had to move different. I couldn't, even though I had a lot of friends that didn't have kids, and we were all hanging around. I still hung out with them, but I still had my responsibility. And it's almost like they forgot that I had a kid, but I never forgot that I had a kid. I was always like, okay, if we're gonna go out to the club and we're gonna stay out all morning, I gotta get my ass up at 6 a.m. because my son is waking up at 6:30. And I can't be hungover sleep because I didn't drink that much, because I couldn't do that because I had a responsibility. I mean, I had him, I was married for 2 years, got divorced. So then I was a single parent. Like, I had to do it by myself. Now, luckily, he was in the same city, so we could go, back and forth. But I didn't have weekends like that. He worked on the weekends and I had to stay home all the time for the weekend. So I couldn't imagine not having a kid in my 20s. So I don't understand. I can't even understand what that would be like. Oh, maybe I do. I kind of, maybe now, because now that he's older and I'm just like getting all this time to myself, like, oh, this is great. But I'm 41 now, and it's all, I love it here.
Oh, it is kind of like, you go through that, you have to stay at home for a little while. And then now that they're older, we can call each other and be like, we on a brunch or not? I
And
don't
they
need
can
nobody
stay
to
home by themselves, and then
let me DoorDash him something to eat while I'm getting ready, and go wherever.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I could imagine me being a mom in college. I don't think I would have graduated.
Something got to give. Something had to give.
Yeah. But as far as what I know, I would have told myself to pay my bills. I would have told myself to pay my bills.
Here's that. If I can go back 20 years, I would have said, bitch, credit is important. You don't need this credit card. You don't need this, but credit is important. Save up your money so you can get a house. I did get a house in my 20s.
And see, with me, I do know some people that did get houses in their 20s. I didn't want a house. I didn't know where I wanted to be.
Right.
So like when I even when I had my son, we were supposed to get married. That wedding was called off, thank the Lord. And looking at houses and stuff like that. And I kept saying, I'm not ready for this, And another thing is,
I was ready to have, I did my whole kitchen over. I mean, I was still in the military, so we were both working full time in the military. So he got deployed for like, I think it was 4 months. So I had the house by myself, and Ty was there, and he was a 2-year-old. I did the kitchen. That house was getting served. And then trauma started happening in the house. Like, yeah, I don't want to be here no more. But yeah, I was ready for it. I was definitely ready. And I did big things. Now that I look back on it, I had a house. I owned a home at 26.
I wasn't even close.
Yeah, I owned a home at 26.
Yeah. But like she said, credit. I think that's probably the only major, when you look at it, it's probably the only major thing we messed up on in our 20s. Credit. We was broke and living the life.
And I think you're supposed to, really. Yeah. At 20, you're really supposed to be broke and live the life because you really don't know what to do. But I will say this, moving forward for our kids, I'm not going to push my son out at 18. He's not ready, right? You got jobs under your belt. You need to see what the workforce is for. Luckily, he has a car now. I didn't have a car at 16. He got a car at 16. He got, he has some one-ups that I didn't have. So, but I still want him to be able to sit on cash. Don't just throw in money, because for what? You make sure you have some money coming in before you put some money out. Make sure you have some in the bank before you got whatever. So I'm not pushing him out at 18. If he wants to go to school, he has a choice to go to school. But if he doesn't go to school, you must work. And I'm okay if you're working, you know what I mean, and bringing in, some money. I'm okay with that.
But I think, and also you don't have to have everything figured out. Yeah, I
Wow.
do not know where that notebook is, but soon as I graduated, I just wrote out this whole timeline, this plan for myself.
Oh,
I really did.
and you don't know where the
Like,
book is?
I don't know where it is.
Adrian,
I moved so much.
I
I
think
know
it's
to the rest.
important. That's important.
But not now because it was dumb. It was like,
It still is
but I
good
thought it was important at that
think
time.
about it. 20 years looking back on to see yourself at 20 years old. That's important to have.
I wasn't thinking about it like that. But I had the plan from, okay, by the time I hit 35, I should be done with all debt, even if I went to grad school, and I did go to grad school, and yes, I'm still in a shitload of debt. And then I was like, I'm not having kids until I'm 30, hopefully be married. We do all the travel, do all the partying, all the group trips, single trips, all of that. So by the time we hit, our 30s and start having kids, we've done everything, So now it's time to spend time with the kids. Ain't none of that happening.
Mm-hmm.
House. I didn't get a house. Been in my house 2 years now. Like all of that. But it's like I used to put so much pressure on myself, like to get all this stuff done. Like I need to do this, need to do that. But it's gonna take time to figure it out, to figure out what you want, where you want to be, what you want to do. Just because you went to school for it doesn't mean you're gonna stick with it.
You not. Have you seen that video to go to college or not? I want to know what the percentage is of the people that go to school and actually work in their school, in their major that they went in to.
I know a lot of people that ended up being teachers. They went for like marketing and stuff like that and ended up being teachers. I don't know how they.
It's not a lot. So it's just like, yeah, that's something to think about. Like, we write out this big old dream, but whose dream is it? Is it your dream, or is the dream that your parents want for you? That's important, because sometimes we're living out our parents' dreams for us, and it's not our dream. You have to understand that you're the individual. Yes, your parents brought you here, and you are here on earth, but you're here on earth as an individual. You are supposed to do your own thing. It's only one of you. Your parents have somewhat, some similarities, but you're not supposed to be the same as them. You're supposed to do something different. That's why most people are insane or go crazy or, kill themselves, because they're trying to live up to the expectations that their parents have, and they shouldn't.
You don't have to be a people pleaser. That's so stressful.
Oh,
I learned
so
it the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
I learned it the hard way, and always trying to be the good girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that other people didn't people please. Right? I thought everybody was like that. Right? Being a people pleaser, and you just want the best and you want to do, but if it's hurting, I figure out, like, wait a minute, I'm hurting myself to please them.
Mm-hmm.
Where they do that at? I'm supposed to love me first before I can love anybody. When they even like, when people say, I put my kids first, I put my kid first, I put my kid first. Let me stop you there. Because if you go on the airplane and she says, hey, when you drop down those air masks, when there's less air in the airplane, they said put the mask on you first, then put it on the child. Because if you put it on your child first and you die, who's gonna take care of that child? Right. You have to save you first before you can save others. So you have to please you before you can please others.
But it still makes sense. You have to love yourself first before you love others. Because if you don't love yourself, how do you know how to love somebody else?
You don't.
That's something else. That's something else you learn in your 20s too. You know what I'm saying? To love yourself.
That's what I would say in my 20s, and that's a perfect way. I would say love yourself, because I think at 21, at 20, at 7, I was really starting to be like, oh, I'm feeling myself. I don't know what this is, but baby, I got something here, right? But I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. I would definitely tell myself, believe it all. believe it all, honey. Just bask into it. Believe it. Believe in you. Because
Mhm.
now that, these old people are coming back from my past, you're just like, huh. And it made you feel like you were kind of less than. Not knowing you was the shit the whole time.
Right.
Believe in yourself. That's not what I say. Believe. I would tell myself to believe in myself and just be true to myself. To thy own self, be true.
Mhm. Mhm. And don't take everything personal. I used to take stuff personal all the time. And follow your first mind. Because a lot of times when people are saying things about you and taking things out on you, it really
They're a hater.
doesn't have anything to do, but it doesn't have anything to do with you.
Mm-mm.
It's all them and the battles that they're fighting and the struggles that they're having and what they're going through. And they're just projecting all that negative energy on you because it's easier
Yep.
to throw it off on somebody else than to sit there and face what they're actually going through.
Yep.
I learned it when I got older.
I think I just learned that like maybe a couple of years ago. Like, dang,
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
hater right there. That's a hater.
Cause you start to question yourself, you know?
Yeah.
You start to question yourself.
What else would
And
I
then people come and people go. Just because y'all have been friends or hung around each other since childhood does not mean that you're going to be friends forever.
Because people grow and they grow apart. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And people change. And
They
sometimes
do.
they change this way and sometimes they change that way. So it just listen,
And there's
sometimes
nothing wrong with
and there's
growing
some of
apart.
them that you intertwine with each other and you grow at the same time, which is cool, right? And that's when that's your real ace boom coon. But
Mm-hmm.
you allow people to grow and be who they are, and they can do it over there and they can do it over there. And that goes from friends and family. Just
Yes.
because y'all are you're forced to have, not I don't want to say forced, but you didn't choose your family, right? So, we try to make sure that we make time for them every day because we didn't choose them. This is how we were brought in. But
Mm-hmm.
some of them are haters too, and some of them you have to let go.
Mm-hmm.
Family or not, I don't care. You have to let them go because they are the one who's sticking you in the mud and you are stuck and you will never be able to move unless you move that barrier. And sometimes it's your family. You don't always got to listen to them. Just because they came first doesn't mean you got to listen to them. Sorry.
I started thinking like this, like in my late, late 30s. Like she said, like with family. Everybody want to tell you what to do and how to do it.
Yeah.
And this is how I see it. If you have never seen $1 million, never touched $1 million, I ain't never made it, don't know how to make it, don't know how to touch it or how to get it,
Shut
how the hell
up.
you gonna sit up there and tell me
Shut up.
what I need to do?
If you have never started a business from the ground up, how are you going to tell me? If you still working a 9 to 5, how are you going to tell me? If you are still listening to somebody tell you what to do, how are you going to tell me?
If
And I'm
they
trying to
ain't
do
never
and I'm
did
trying to
it.
do it a whole different way. Shut up. Shut up. You either can help me or get away from me.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's not gonna support you. They're not. And don't get mad and don't make them feel like they're obligated to do so because they're not. And if they don't, they just don't.
This is all the stuff that we're telling our 20-year-old self.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is all the stuff
Learn
that's
the
on
hard
TikTok.
way.
And this is all
I
the stuff that's
stayed
on
in my
TikTok
feelings.
now that for these new 20-year-olds, you can know. You should know and listen to it because it's all out there for you. We didn't have none of this. The internet.
Ooh, the blind leading the blind. I knew how to get on the internet and look up how to make a drink, but that's about it.
I don't even remember. I remember being like text messages like, why they just don't call me? Now you can't call me for nothing. Now it's just like if you don't text me for
No, it was different because you only had so many text messages
Yeah, true.
for a certain amount. We had a cap on it.
I
We
didn't
didn't
even know
have
how to
no
read the text messages. Like, where I keep on hearing this sound on my phone. I don't know what it is. Oh gosh.
I mean,
That ain't a mess. I was just, it was new. I'm old school. Shoot, I'm 80, baby. Hello?
81. But yeah, that's definitely, it's a lot, but you're gonna learn it as you go. You know what I'm saying? And don't let people keep telling you that you're crazy. A lot of people used to always tell me that I was crazy or I be overthinking. And the whole time, it has not failed me yet. I have not been wrong about anybody. I could go stand by somebody, be like, oh, she's nice, you need to talk.
The vibe ain't there.
And I think I'll be funny because I'll be saying, my spirit ain't right. And I do be being funny, but I be being serious at the same time. And they really end up being with the shits,
Or I'm gonna say something even scarier. Like the people I've known a lot of people, and a lot of people, cross your paths or you're always in the same circle. And some people are like, oh, you know what you call? Like, yeah, I know him, but I never got, I never got close to him or I never got close to her. Then people end up dying. And it has never failed me yet. Like, it's just something tells me you can't get close to them. And it's not that they're bad or anything like that. It's just my energy won't even allow me to get close to them. We could be in the same circle. We could say hello. We could say whatever, but it's never been like, with some people I click with and it's just like, okay, we're friends forever. But the other people that I don't click it is, I'm not going to say that it happens all the time, but it's happened often. Like, I've known some people that died, but I didn't really know them because we had all the chances to get to know each other.
Always at the same place at the same time.
Didn't. So yeah, that you trust that energy, trust that spirit. Cause I'd be like, ooh,
don't force relationships. Friendships included.
I would tell myself also, you are the prize. You are the prize. You don't got to work at all.
Oh, it was a facial expression. I just could not.
Gotta see the other video. Another video where we're talking about alpha female. So if you haven't seen that video, go back and see that, and you understand why I'm saying that.
Yeah, yeah.
It all go hand. It all correlate.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a lot. You know, it's like when you get older, you go back and you think like, oh my God, I wish I would have known. And I do that a lot. I wish I would have known this. I wish I would have known that. But everything happens in its time.
Yeah.
You can't force it.
Everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
And
I wrote my whole life out. Yeah. And it didn't even happen like that at all. I still ain't married.
It's been a great, I'm gonna say great 20 years. Well, I'll say a great 20 years, but it's been a great life lesson it has been full of life lessons all in this 20 years. Like, okay, now I can be like, oh, goodness gracious. You know what I mean? Like, I see. And now I know what to do. Like, it's just, I thought 30 was a big deal. Like going 30, I was like, oh, I know myself. I feel myself or whatever. But being 40 is just like, I really don't care what you say. Right. And I'm not afraid to tell you that with your thoughts to me don't mean shit. Okay. I am going to try to not be as aggressive when I tell you that, so I don't hurt your feelings, because I don't want to hurt your feelings. But it depends. If you're trying to hurt mine, baby, I'm sure up and hurt yours. Okay. Yeah.
See, she found herself in her 20s, late 20s, maybe. I didn't start realizing who I was till my 30s. When I moved to Atlanta, you couldn't tell me nothing. Yeah. But I learned a lot. I met a lot of different people. Being a single parent in a whole different city. But me and my sister stayed maybe 40, 45 minutes apart. Like she stayed on the outskirts. I stayed in the city of Atlanta.
She was trying to get me to come to Atlanta so bad.
I was. She
You can
wasn't
come to
budging.
Atlanta. I was like, I probably had 6 baby daddies.
But I mean, as you get older, you learn, everything comes with time. We can have all these dreams, everything planned out. That was like a slap in the face for me. Because I just knew, like, no, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And even the guys, like she said earlier, with different guys, I even have people that come in my inbox. Oh, I used to have a crush on you. Oh, you still so pretty. Mm-mm. I ain't entertaining nobody. It depends. Maybe. Depending on what you're doing. Depending on what you got going. But lately the ones I don't want it. But in my younger days, I probably would have entertained it. Now I just shut it down. So, and then I date completely different guys too. You know what I'm saying? Back then you didn't have to have a legal job.
Like, my sister tries to tell me that I have a type. And I was like, I don't have a type. I don't, because everybody has been different. Every one of them have been different. Go ahead, listen, think back, put them all together. Now, I had a type when I was in college, for sure. But when I got out, everybody's been different. I've dated just so I won't fit in the same suit.
I ain't talking about that. Personality-wise, that's how I knew B-Rab one for you.
Who?
I call him B-Rab from Malibu's Bus Roadie. He ain't just like the dude too. Personality-wise, I was like, you got a type.
But who was like him before that?
Nobody. That's how I knew he wasn't for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what is my type?
That don't need to be in your business like that.
We could just say without saying it.
I know your type.
My type is Idris Elba, but he married.
Mm-mm.
That's my type.
Your type be shimmy and shoulders.
Who?
They be shimmy and shoulders. Oh.
Well,
yeah.
That was the type in college, that's for sure. And they sure love to find me, so I ain't gonna lie. I mean, they are good to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. That's funny. Woo. Woo. Yeah.
But that's what I got to say about that. Be patient. That takes time too. It comes with time too.
Yourself, heal yourself from your childhood trauma, because that is important, because that's going to show up in your relationships, right? Get over it. Let it go.
But that's the thing. You can't say get over it. You have to tell people to learn how to cope with it and move forward.
You have
versus
to set boundaries.
Get over it.
Yeah.
But you have to recognize it first.
True. I'm not saying get over it where you just, don't deal with it. I want you to deal with it and then let it go. Because if you hold on to it for a long time, it can hinder you. So get over it. Let it go. That way you can move on with your life more. You can go ahead and move on with your life. That's what I'm saying.
Once you recognize
what you have, right? Let it go. Let it go. And then keep pressing. Hit the gas.
Ain't nothing wrong with going to see a therapist. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with healing yourself.
No.
I don't care what nobody say. If that works for you, go do it.
Go do it. And who cares what?
Just because it don't work for your friend.
Somebody else has something to say about it, like, because suicide is a big deal. Like, and it's happening. Like, it's like candy. Like, I think in our age, at 20, I wouldn't dare think about suicide, or anything like that. Like the Miss USA lady that just jumped out of a building. 30
Mhm.
years old. I was thinking about that like, let me see. Let me think about when I was 30. At 30, I had a 6-year-old, single parent. I was still in the military, so that was still a stressful job. Like, I could not imagine leaving Earth and leaving him there, or having my mom to deal with that, and me
Mhm.
taking away something that she brought into the earth. I couldn't do it. I couldn't understand. Like, there's a better way. Go seek help. Talk about your feelings. It's important to talk about, male, females. Talk about your feelings. What hurts you? And you have to talk about it, especially in your 20s, because that's when it affects you the most, too.
But in your 20s, you're still trying to figure out who's for you and who's not for you. And I think that's why a lot of people no longer express themselves or have those friends, because you're still trying to figure out who's actually your friend.
You're still getting over
Yeah.
the roller coaster of being a teenager, because that's your hormones. You don't know what the fuck to do when you're a teenager. You're going like this.
Hmm.
It's an
I didn't
emotional roller coaster.
realize depression till I was grown, like
Not until I was in my, well,
like
until like past
30s.
35.
I was gonna say like my 30s is when I realized like
That's a real
you
thing.
might be going through
Yeah.
depression, you
Waking up
know.
sad every day. Like, why am I so sad? Why am I so sad?
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
And
Couldn't figure out what it
and
was.
you just push through it, and you just, get over it, because that's what your parents did. I mean, I don't really think I've ever saw my mom sad for real. But looking back, could she have been? Hell yeah. But did she? No, because she said I had shit to do. I
Mhm.
couldn't do it. You know what I mean? So, but some people ain't like that.
Yeah. But if you feel, feel
Uh-oh. We're paused.
like you find a therapist. I don't know, I recommend a therapist more than friends. Lesson learned.
So what? You know what?
I would recommend a therapist over
Oh,
friends.
for sure. For sure.
Because your friends, they don't
Unless you
know.
got a deep ass friend like me. To break it down, like me.
You learn over the years those friends that you can have that like us, no judgment zone.
No judgment zone.
Um, you learn you can have more than one friend, because there are people that don't want you to have more than one friend. Those are not your friends.
Yep.
They're secret haters. I had one for
Right.
like over 20 years. And then
Mhm.
what else we learned?
As for what? For when?
Just all of it.
In
But
20?
I think it's really important. But we've always, even though we're just now saying it, even in our 20s, we were always like the no judgment, you know,
Oh yeah,
type.
because I felt like, listen, I'm gonna be me. I'm not finna sugarcoat and be nobody different around you. People think what they want to think about me, but no one knows the true me unless I
Mhm,
give it to them. And I was able to give
mhm.
myself to you, like, yo, but it's just me. Like, boo, 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 boo. She was like, I can deal with this. You know what I mean? I can deal with this. And she's not, everybody thought that I was stuck up, that I was mean and all this before I even opened up my mouth. Like, oh,
Mhm.
she's a pretty girl. She's stuck up. She mean. She bougie and all that. No, I am bougie. I'm just not mean, right? I'm not mean. I'm nice. I'm nice to everyone. But I mean, if I don't like you, I don't like you. I think
Mhm.
everybody has that same feeling, right?
Mhm.
Um,
What they say is if they don't like you, that ain't none of your business. I used to be like, that's so dumb. But now I understand. Don't worry about it.
that's on you.
It's their problem.
Right. That's on you. If I don't like you, I have a reason why I don't like you, but I give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not going to let any and everybody get close to me, because I know there are vultures out there. Right.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
if I'm able to share my true self with you, and I have, a couple of friends where I can share my true self with you, I'm not really sharing everybody. I just give them a piece of what it is. You don't need to know all of me. because there's people
You
that
don't learn. Everybody don't need to know everything. And they
they
don't
will
need to
stab
know
you.
your every
They will
move.
stab you in the back real quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a reason why people go to jail for like, 20 years and then they take a plea deal and they get out at 10 because they will snitch. They will snitch real quick on their closest, on their family members, on their closest friends, on their their family members. They don't care. Like, so no one really needs to know all that about you, but there's always somebody that does know you, right? And you have to.
I mean, I ain't gonna say I don't care, but I can't go to jail for something that I didn't do. So I'm gonna tell you. I'm just put that out there.
Whatever.
I ain't gonna do
I'm gonna be
20.
right. She was right there with me. She sure was. I got proof. Cause 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be right there with me, nigga. So how about going to jail together? I got proof. And plus I'm not that type of grimy friend where I'm gonna put you in harm's way anyway. And I don't want you to put me in I don't want you to put me in harm's way either. Like I've had a good career where I haven't gotten into no crazy shit, and I don't plan to get into no crazy shit because I don't want to mess with the law like that at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not my MO. That's not how I feel to whatever. And the stuff that you think is bad to the world, I'm like, that's not really bad. Like, there's some shit that
you gotta breathe. You gotta take a step back. You gotta breathe. Turn it into something positive as much as possible, or you're gonna stress yourself out. You are. But so I just learned to be cool.
In your 20s, you're young, you got beautiful skin, you got flat stomachs, your titties are high, your booty is high. Enjoy it, okay?
Yeah, I wasn't even fat. I thought I was fat. I wasn't even fat.
Well, I was too skinny. I was real skinny. But I was fine though. Don't get it twisted.
I would say you was about the same, but you were athletic though. You were the same,
Don't say I was the same. I'm thicker now.
I mean, yeah, now you are, but I'm saying in college, girl.
I was like, but I have muscles. So there's that. I have muscles. So there's that. But enjoy your 20s for sure.
And that's that on that. I don't have nothing else to say about that.
We're going to end it on
Take your time.
Remember to like, share, subscribe, and leave some comments down below. Let us know about your 20s and how it was. Or let us know about if it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
What have you learned up to this point in your life? What would you have?
What would you tell yourself in your 20s?
Yeah. I hate to say what would you do different, because we don't know, because it'll change everything.
It'll shift everything, so you can't.
Yeah. Because it's whatever has happened, it made you who you are right now.
Yeah, man.
Let us know.
Yeah.
And let us know if you like this video.
Yeah. So
don't be rude.
Ooh, because we know y'all like to tussle. But we like to tussle too. All right, love y'all. Good night.
Good night, y'all.